The card art for Dragon Blaster Skeletor and Snakeface teases more MOTU Origins figures and vehicles coming to the line. Hey everyone, welcome back to Toy Habits. I'm Michael and you are tuning into Toy Habits News, and the card backs and art for Dragon Blaster Skeletor and Snakeface were recently revealed by the talented MOTU illustrator Roy Juarez on Instagram, and from the looks of it, these figures look fantastic on card. The color palette for these particular figures go nicely with the rise of the Snake Man theme, along with the card back reveals. We get confirmation of the action features as well as more card art teases and the vehicles we might expect in the future. So let's start off by taking a look at Dragon Blaster Skeletor, and he looks fantastic displayed on the front of the package. You can see that extra deluxe illustration of Dragon Blaster Skeletor and the dragon on his back, and he is spraying his venom on unsuspecting foes. On the back of the card, we also get confirmation of the action feature, which had fans wondering if the dragon would actually squirt water, and in fact, he does. And, from the looks of the official images of the figure, it was really looking like this would happen, and so it's great to get official confirmation. Now you can see from the illustration that you can remove the dragon's head and fill it with water, which now makes a lot of sense when you think about it. The dragon is like the backpack from Snout Spout, and the presence of the dragon does not hinder the part swappability of Skeletor. And moving on to the card art teases, there is a lot to unpack in this illustration. We see Dragon Blaster Skeletor and Too Bad taking on Thunder Punch He-Man, and he is riding in style, barreling down on those two in none other than Bashasaurus. And another subtle tease in the upper left corner is Battle Bone. So let's take a closer look at these teases in more detail, starting off with Too Bad. And this is the third time that Too Bad has been teased on MOTU Origins card art. And he is the two-headed evil warrior who's basically two different beings sharing the same body. His right half is a blue creature named Tuvar, while his left half is a purple scaly creature with an eyebrow-like band on his forehead called Badra. Too Bad was introduced in the Masters of the Universe line in 1985 and was originally marketed as the double-headed evil strategist, which implied that he is a master of strategy, possibly being that he has two evil warriors that are combined into one. And you know the old adage, two heads are better than one. His two heads had a habit of continuously arguing with each other, but that's the main trait in the story and the media, and it's basically used for comedy relief. All right, moving on to Bashasaurus. And if you blink the first time this was teased, you might have missed Bashasaurus lurking in the background of the Wave 12 mini comic Roboto card art. And this was the first time that this vehicle has been teased in the line. So now that we have Dragon Blaster Skeletor's artwork, Bashasaurus is front and center with Thunder Punch He-Man riding in. Bashasaurus was released in 1985, and the box art features Battle Armor He-Man in the driver's seat. And it shows that you can also press a button and the ball swings forward, and the Bashasaurus is a Heroic Warriors vehicle, and it's adorned with a spiked head and a huge mace that can bash obstacles and enemies, and of course, figures. We can't wait for this vehicle to join the Masters of the Universe Origins line, and we are due up for another vehicle, to be honest. Finally, the last vehicle, if you want to call it that, is Battle Bones, and it looks like there is a very subtle hint for Battle Bones on the Dragon Blaster Skeletor card art. There is a creature with his ribs exposed in the upper left corner on the card, and looking at the vintage mini comic art, this looks a heck of a lot like Battle Bones. So Battle Bones was first seen in the mini comic Skeletor's Dragon in 1984. In this vintage mini comic, at first, Skeletor is commanding Battle Bones to be his slave and use it for evil, but by the end of the comic, Battle Bones is serving He-Man and the Heroic Warriors. Battle Bones has also been featured once before on the MOTU Origins card art for Skeletor, and you see him prominently in the swamp background on this card back art. And Battle Bones came out in 1985 and was meant to be a carrying case for MOTU figures. It could hold 12 of your favorite characters, and the mouth opened up to hold all the accessories. All right, moving on to the next figure, Snakeface. He was recently revealed with official images, and he looks amazing. With the card art, we also get to see the pack out and how he's arranged, and the fun card art teases that they have included with this one once again. We also get to see the extra illustration in the upper right of the card, as well as the amazing card art on the back. With the action features being hit and miss in the Origins line, one aspect of the March 20th reveals that was left open was the question if Snakeface's snakes on his torso would pull down and retain that action feature from the vintage line. And now we get confirmation that they do indeed pull down thanks to the illustration on the back of the card showing you how to work the figure. And you can also see that he has a swappable head, so they've retained one action feature and modified another one. A Snakeface figure from the vintage line had an action feature where you pull the lever on the back and the snakes on his face pop out of his eyes and mouth, which is super creepy. All right, moving on to the card art once again. Roy and team knocked this out of the park as we see Squeeze, King Hiss, and Snakeface battling the recently turned to stone mini comic Prince Adam and Extendar in the front of Grayskull Tower. The unfortunate thing is that Extendar and Prince Adam have been turned to stone, but I'm sure they'll be willing to figure out how to get out of this jam. On a related note, it's also very nice to see that the villains on the card art are taking the upper hand, as this reminds me of the Horror Trooper card art where they are getting absolutely obliterated by Thunder Punch He-Man, but I digress. All right, right back to the Prince Adam mini comic figure tease. The mini comic Prince Adam kicked off the line back at Comic-Con 2019 as an exclusive set packed with He-Man, and we also saw a regular release of Prince Adam packed with the Sky Sled, so it's amazing to see the potential of a standard release for the mini comic Prince Adam coming to the Origins line. The question is, soft goods or plastic? What do you think? My best guess is that they will be repainting the standard Prince Adam from the Sky Sled and hopefully using the updated He-Man head sculpt instead of that Page Boy head sculpt that we have here. Next up is Extendar, and we first saw Extendar on Cobra Khan's card art, and we also get to see him turn to stone on the back of Snakeface's card art. And with the two appearances, it's more likely that we're going to see Extendar coming to the line soon, and we can't wait. And Extendar has a very interesting backstory. So Extendar was also a unique figure and looked nothing like previous figures that were released in the line. He takes on more of a knight appearance, and this figure came out very late in the line and was not featured in the cartoon, but he does have a mini comic backstory. Occasionally referred to in comics as the Tower of Power, Extendar was introduced in the Masters of the Universe toy line in '86 at a stage where the toy line was breaking away from its roots, kind of moving into pure fantasy, and the introduction of more robotic and mechanical characters. He was also introduced in the mini comic The Warrior Machine. The comic showcases him as a friend of Prince Adam, who was an ordinary knight, but yearned to have special powers of his own after witnessing the skills of the Horde warrior Dragstor. Hordax subsequently grants his wish and subjects him to science experiments, which he often did, which turned him into a mechanical cyborg with the power of extension. Invincible at full height, he is set upon He-Man, but manages to throw off Hordax's curse and joins the heroic warriors. Subsequently, the mini-comics portray him as the most powerful member of his rank. Extendar's gimmick was pretty cool. He could grow larger by pulling on his neck and his arms and his legs, so it remains to be seen if Mattel is going to retain this action feature like the vintage figure or go with the MOTU Classics route and make peggable extensions. What do you think? With the card art teases, we also get the UPCs for both Dragon Blaster Skeletor and Snakeface, which can be used to locate these figures in the wild. We've thrown these UPCs on the website, and be sure to save them as you have a better chance of locating these figures in the wild when they hit retail. All right, let us know what you think about the card art teases and the figures in the comments below. Is there a particular figure tease that you're looking forward to? I'm Michael, and thanks for tuning into this Toy Habits News Brief.